resources we may be able to use in our everyday lives. I got through it that time. So we wrapping it up. If you are just tuning in with us, have my pops down here, the one, the only, Tula Bone, the multi-talented, the multifaceted, the your friendly neighborhood leader. Mr. We need a title, right? We need a title.
You keep talking.
We need a title for you, Pop. But
I appreciate it.
yeah, oh no problem, no problem. So before we was just talking about you talk about voter registration. We kind of got into some other topics. But I did specifically want to just get the information out. On where they could go to vote.
So again, if you want to get registered to vote, go to your nearest Secretary of State and register to vote. And more so, Michigan is probably one of the best states to vote in. They will send your ballot to your house.
Right, and that was for the for the absentee ballot.
That absentee. Listen, if you can vote, they just sent me something on the phone. I like to go in person and get caught up in the camaraderie of it. But if you don't want to go, just go register vote and say, hey, send my vote to my house.
Okay.
Right, and hold on.
So you could do that when you register to vote.
You could
tell them that you want absentee ballot.
You can tell them you want an absentee ballot.
Okay.
And they'll tell you how to get it if there's a way to register and all that.
Is that like famous people who can't show up because they don't
no,
bring?
You know what? My mom.
I mean, it's older people.
It's like my mom.
Okay.
See,
I'm here. The first thing that came to me
disabilities.
like these super famous people that show up and it's
Right,
gonna
they
be a
don't
ruckus.
wanna-
They don't
right,
want to
right,
make a
they don't
ruckus.
wanna-
No, but you got some people, man. Literally, bro, they can't make it down in the day.
Yeah.
They might be
Yeah.
working. Cause
Yeah, it is, and work too. A lot of
you
people.
know what I'm saying?
Because
So,
you could cast your vote, and then you don't even have to
but
take
my
off
thing
work
is,
to
please
get down there. Nothing.
don't do what our people do. And I'm chicken grease and pop on the absentee ballot. You know what I'm saying?
Wash your hands.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
Try to protect the absentee ballot like it's $1,000,
Man.
and you don't want to get it wet.
No, don't fold it.
Don't
Please
fall
don't.
it, right.
So,
Right.
but I'm saying for
Fill
real,
in all of your answers correctly.
So there's no
Make sure
reason.
it's a dark
There's
bubble.
no reason we should not be able to vote. And if your brother is getting out of prison, when you get out, you're automatically registered to vote.
Oh, okay.
Michigan law, if you are any person that's incarcerated,
And so we can, and because in some states, if you've been convicted of a felon, you
can
can't
vote. You can vote. Only states that I've seen do that: Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Those are
Southern
states.
states.
Okay, yeah.
Southern states. But up north, you get out of
So
prison.
if you have been convicted of a felon in one of those states, can you move to another state and
you can
register to vote?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can. But I'm just saying, brothers who get out of jail.
But when you get out here, you said they automatically register you to vote.
Michigan, one thing Governor
that's
Whitmore
dope.
did that's
That's dope.
good.
I never knew that.
They signed a law this year saying if you, this year or last
Big
year,
Gretch, shout out Big Gretch.
I gotta give her that.
Sue
I
whoop.
I do.
Sue whoop.
I gotta give her that because they make it easy for everybody to vote. So
Yeah.
if you form the car, you get out, you can automatically vote. And a lot of brothers who've been in cars, they vote.
Has it always been like that? Wasn't there a time in Michigan you couldn't vote if you were a felon?
No,
Or
I
it's
don't-
never-
I just think it affected your job. It just affected your job. You
Yeah.
couldn't get like
I
a
don't
great
know
job.
that,
Yeah,
but,
jobs,
But
yeah.
I would,
You
like
could
to
always get in the restaurant business though.
Right. Oh,
They
yeah,
always
hire.
need
They hire.
But
people back there.
I don't know, but I would just say, and again, I encourage everybody to vote. Like I tell people in the hood, you don't vote, somebody gonna make the rules for you.
Yeah.
You may not like the rules they make because you had the opportunity, as Brother A said, to put somebody in there that's gonna promote your best interest.
So speaking of that, that's a good segue here. I had a couple candidates wanted your opinion on Pop. So we had Hill Harper down in the neighborhood. A couple was it last week or the week before that. Everybody was down
Hill
in the
Harper,
city.
isn't he from?
He was a TV star.
Yeah. Okay, I saw him
Yeah.
on the forum. He did an interview on the Forum magazine.
Yep, yeah, he's running for senator.
Nice.
Yep, right, and
Nice.
that's who he's running for
He
senator.
running for senator.
He was down in the neighborhood. Shout out Gilly the Kid. Shout out Wallow.
Gilly,
They
I
was
saw
down there.
that. I did.
Yeah,
see
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
I
They was
saw
in the
that.
neighborhood. They was turned up. Shout out Skillet Baby. They was turned up. They was down there. Flex Live. Shout out Flex. He was down there as well, tapping in with the neighborhood. I thought that was cool. I always like it when the politicians come to the city and actually tap in with us.
I like that.
And see that. So just wanted to know your opinion, Pop. What you think about Hill Harper?
I think
so
Hill Harper is good for the community. I heard his platform. I think he's great. He's running against Alyssa Slockins. Alyssa Slockins was tied into the Obama administration, the Bush administration. She was a former CIA agent, but she don't.
Is she from here?
She's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
she's from Michigan.
That sounds like some stuff. We got
Right,
CIA agents.
She She was. She
Okay.
became a CIA agent.
Yeah.
That's
what
what's
they
up,
call
though.
Right, that's
9/11.
why I'm like, got a rep.
Yeah, right. But the
The
thing
mother
is,
mitten. No.
we got to elect people, man, who going to and this sometimes we have to be culturally stingy when we vote.
Mhm.
And what I mean by acting our best interest. So I got something on Facebook yesterday from Melissa Slockett. Oh, you hit my page? Let me ask you the magical question. Hey, you gonna vote for the George Floyd Civil Rights Bill? Hey, you gonna vote for John Lewis vote? More importantly, are you gonna vote for reparations? Crickets.
Mhm.
Like you ain't ready for those questions. Now, if I ask you Harper that, who's an African American who identify with our plight, who's gonna come down there on Cashew, Corville, where you stay,
Yeah.
that's who we gotta harass. Because me personally, I would get enough people to vote. And he'll Harper.
Yeah.
I was still
Be
thinking,
good.
I tell Biden right now, the donors say, oh, we can give you no more money. We freeze it $90 million, we can give you that now. I figured out. So what Joe Biden church, they say, we love you, Joe, keep moving. But that's what happens. Alyssa Slockins, crickets. Hill Harper got interviewed on Channel 2 News a week or two ago. They called Alyssa Slockins. She don't even answer back. And that's when he said, I ain't taking no PAC money. She can't say that.
Right.
And
right.
the question that I'm going to ask y'all, will Alyssa Slockins fight for the community with a community issue? Alyssa Slockins,
Somebody that look like somebody that look like me.
Right. No, that's what I thought was cool because I seen him. I seen he was on Flex. 42 Doug DJ. Yeah, he was on there with Flex and just stuff he was saying. I thought that was cool. He was just talking about bringing more money to the city, more resources, small business owners. You know what I'm saying? That we need. So, I mean, to be honest, I never heard of the other chick.
Alyssa Slockins?
Yeah, I never heard of her.
So why would you?
But that's what I said. But
I mean,
Hill Harper, he in the city.
Right, but I bet
Like
you
literally in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I bet you the
like,
money.
That's
cool.
Cool.
Alyssa Slockins in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Why you? And that's what I get mad about, cause I just got to put this out. In 1988, the United government gave reparations to Japanese Americans for what they do.
Right.
Which, when the bombs were dropped on Hawaii, they took all the Japanese Americans to concentration camp.
Yeah.
So Ronald Reagan in the
1980s,
1980s, the Japanese Americans said, hey, 1908, they signed that bill and gave them $20,000 per piece, including their ancestors. They gave Native Americans reparations. Why you can't give us reparations? Because you can't give somebody. This is why I tell people, you cannot take somebody and put their people in 250 years of legal financially, free them and say, now figure it out. And then when they get out, you rearrest them, right? The men, you put them back in jail because the plantation owners, because you're about a slave, need somebody to work. They say, okay, now this is what you're going to do. Either you're going to sign this contract, or we're going to lock you up and find a reason to lock you up. And that's what sharecropping came in at. So we've been always financially deprived. So if you telling me that you look at me as an American citizen and you giving everybody else money, why can't you give the other? And what I tell people who object to that, I said, won't you come work for me for free for 10 years? And I got complete autonomy over you. Your wife, your children, all that's.
So let's say they, the person that you vote for goes for, we win it. What does that turn into for us in today's climate?
Detroit right now, I don't. Obviously, you don't know this. With respect, I say that. Detroit right now have a reparation committee going on. I had a brother on my show Monday who's on that committee. He's a liaison for that, and they're doing a study for reparations. And he said that March 225, they're gonna submit that to. They're gonna submit that to the city council. Thus, the city.
Well, I'm because I'm trying to think, like, what does that translate into for us? Let's say 2025.
It could be.
So it's a multitude of things.
It could be a multitude.
Okay.
It could be no taxes.
Oh,
Housing.
that's the one.
Basically, in some way, it's supposed to. It's two things. It's supposed to kind of make up for what we didn't get, like what we were promised, and then it's supposed to help, like, it's supposed to lessen the gap.
It's just no taxes. Right now, that's what it is. It's an idea. And in order, I believe that a lot of black people have had this idea. We're fighting for this, but then every year it seems like it's always the same. Because there's people who would say, like, I ain't voted for the last 5 years and things are still how they are and I'm fine. You know what I mean? That's the mindset a lot of people have. And I know it's not correct, but it's hard for even me to, like, disagree with it because it's like, dang, I don't necessarily.
Well, but it depends on what you want out of life.
Yeah,
true. If you, like, I meet people, I got people I know that's in my circle.
Yeah.
They jealous of, because I have a drive to succeed.
Beyond the odds.
Necessary,
exactly.
Right? I make cologne. Y'all know that I make perfume. I might go and create a shower gel, and then when they see you eating, because they jealous of y'all.
Yeah.
What they have.
Yeah.
They don't want to go. And
I'll say this. I think it is that, but I think the reason for that is like education. So when I was younger, it used to seem like it was impossible to own a house and start a business. You know what I'm saying? And then you get older and you're like, wait a minute. No, because I had to educate myself. But once I learned stuff, then it's like, okay, no, this actually isn't as hard as I thought it was.
That's what I've been hearing from a lot of children, a lot of young adults.
That, though, in my head, I was like, well, yeah, I ain't going to be able to do this, so what's the point?
But at the same time, man, that's all about you and your motivation, man. Because we look back at slavery.
No, what I'm saying is, though, is if you don't even know, like, when I was younger, I really thought it was way harder to buy a house than it was. So what I'm saying is if this is what I'm told by my people, you know what I'm saying, then I go to school and it's kind of nobody else is getting, learning anything higher beyond it.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I can say this. I'm going to say this.
Like, me and all my friends think it is this hard to own a house. Then when I get older,
So let me put this.
I've created this for myself, but but ultimately that's what it is. It's a victim mentality. But it's from a lack of education.
So I would say this, and I'm a prime example, and I can say this. I graduated from college. Right. So before I went there, I'm like, man, I can't. Again, I'm a paralegal. I do law, and I applied myself. But once I got in that college environment, I took a business class. They said, hey, whenever you market something, study the environment that you go into prior to marketing there, because you can't take hot dogs to a Chinese environment. They might not like your hot dog. Learn that in college. Some people go sell hot dogs. I see people do a pop-up stand in the middle. That's what you eat. They don't eat soul food. Right. But I'm just saying, college, I tell people all the time, man, step into that arena.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid. Listen, college is easy. Once you stay there,
it's about what, because one of the things you said was applying yourself, and I think a lot of young people don't get it. Like, all that is sitting aside and taking the time to focus focus on this thing that you want and put the time in. What they say, how many hours you gotta make, like, in order to become a master, a professional, 10,000 hours.
Takes
Like,
10,000 hours to
even
master something, yeah.
like people look at what I do, what we do with music. It's like, bro, like, if you just made your first song, yeah, the possibility of you blowing up, putting it on TikTok, going viral is there. But you
Like, in
still,
reality,
you still have
like,
to
yeah.
continue to do the work. Like,
Yeah.
it's never ending.
Because even if
You
you
know what I
did
mean?
blow up off of that, like you said, what's next?
It's never ending.
Like, yeah,
Well,
you
but that's
don't
just
have
like me
anything.
doing the cologne. You know, I had to go through 15 different bottles to say, okay, this is the first one.
Right.
I had to experience my son. You know, he told me, hey, man, you should do your own fragrance. I'm like, man, because I used to make other fragrances, no name brand. Man, you crazy. And one day it hit me like a light bulb. I said, damn, my son right. So I started doing my own fragrances. But the came from him. And you got to always open yourself up from advice from anybody.
Yeah.
It could be a guy that's shooting dope. It could be a guy that's drunk. It could be a guy in the church. It could be a child. Because you don't know where God's going to give you that wisdom from.
I'll tell you,
It's when you
it's gonna
stagnate
cost,
yourself.
it's always, no matter what you chase, no matter what you go after in life, it's going to cost you your life. So
Yeah.
you need to
That's
apply
deep.
yourself and focus.
That's it, yeah,
No matter
that's
what,
very
no
deep.
matter what you do in life, it's going to cost your life.
Right.
Period.
Well, a lot of
The
people
crime, the good, the book you read is going to cost you. Like, if you get a book,
Right.
it might take you 5 hours a day for the next 3 weeks
That's
to
fine.
read that book.
Fact.
He's
Though
saying
that's
that
your
costs
life.
you life,
That
though.
costs you life,
You
your
still gotta pay
time,
with
your
that.
time, your energy.
Even if you go to college.
Even if you go, nothing, no matter
You
what,
gotta pay.
having this radio show, it costs life. It costs what, 2 hours of my
Right.
life
A
plus what it
week.
costs
Right.
to pay for. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you, as long as you have that mentality that no matter what I do in life, I have to go at it like it's the last thing that's like it's the only thing. I gotta go at it like I have no other choice.
Listen, people are, and I make my fragrances right, and I never had my fragrances around people who's got bread, and what they call Arab money. They smell my stuff like, man, wow. I was a brother I had on my Facebook. I got on there now. He was standing next to Jana Pickett. I know it's a bad name right now. And she said, "What you got on?" He said, "That's for my cologne guy." And that was something I made called Detroit Truth. Whatever I do my best at it. If
Right.
I can't do my best at it, Ace, I'm not going to do it.
That's
I'm
right.
not going to half step. I'm not going to do it. I want, when you wear my fragrances, I want you to say, man, I had your stuff on. It lasted me about 8 hours. That guy tell me that. Right? Because all my stuff is oil-based. So it's stronger than an average fragrance, but it smells great. And that's how anything you do.
Right.
That's why I tell people, man, don't half step, because if you half step, people ain't gonna want you. When I do radio, Marquise, I send a video. I have videos, I'm talking about videos, but I
Shout
do.
out to Engineer
Half steppers,
Marquise.
half
Big
steppers.
shout out.
The half steppers are people who ain't doing their own thing. Because if you're doing your
What
own
you mean by
thing,
that? It's funny. I like this.
if you ain't doing, the thing is, like me, because I'm about me and
Well,
I
is this,
do me.
Does it sound like a final thought?
Yeah, let's make it as a final thought.
Yeah, we're getting into
My
it
final
here.
thought is, no matter what, when you're doing what you're doing and it's about you and it comes from you and it's not from anybody else, you have no choice but to put 100. All, because it's a part of you. It makes you happy. It pleases you. It gives you life. And a lot of people out here are doing things for the wrong reasons. Like, if you're doing something for the money, it's
So
not giving you life.
How would you summarize that for the people? Like, for more of like a final thought, like, how would you put that into?
Do what makes you whole. Do what makes you whole. Like, if you rapping, if you like lyrics and you love making music, put yourself into it. Don't try to do what M doing. Don't try to do what Lil Wayne did. Don't try to do what Kanye did, because you're always gonna be half stepping. Because you can't be them. You know, if you're looking at what they doing and you love what they doing, you can use it as inspiration, but always try to find where it's coming from you. It's yours, you know, like, because once it comes from you, it don't matter if it ain't as lyrical as an Eminem or if it ain't got as many punchlines as a Lil Wayne, people gonna still love it because of you. And as long as you're doing that, you'll be good. So my final thought is just do what pleases you, do what makes you happy, do what gives you life.
I like that. I like that. You want to go ahead, Pop, actually?
I mean, yeah, my
I'll take
final
last
thought
one.
would
What's your
be,
final
man,
thought for the
my final thought is just be real.
Okay.
It don't cost you nothing to be real. And if people don't like you being real, then ask them out. Real quick. You know, don't compromise on your
With the
principles.
quickest.
Stick who you are, and always focus on your goal. objective and always make sure, man, that you always got somebody that's looking